These are how God set boundary for us. I just want to give us an example I read somewhere. All of us we know a bridge, one bridge or the other, London Bridge or whichever bridge from wherever we are. And we notice that on the bridge there is always um, guide, gauge, something to maybe a fence that is bridge. That's why they call it bridge. There's always a bridge. There's always a fence around it, so that especially the one that you can drive on. Those guide, if they don't put those guide there to guide the edge of the bridge, if they ask you to drive on the one that is guided, that is guide there, you will see that you will be comfortable. You will not have any problem because there's something there that is guiding you. So even if you are driving on the lane that is really close to that side, you will still not be afraid because you know at least those guide is on the bridge is there. The wall that is around the bridge, whether it's a metal wall, whether it's concrete, whether it's whatever, as long as it's guide there. So that is it. So let's now say that they decided that on the Tower Bridge, London Bridge, or even Dartford one, they remove all the guide that is on the side of the bridge and ask you now to now drive on it. Look at how uncomfortable that would be for you to now drive on that guide on a bridge without those guide at the edge, or those grill that hold that guide you, that don't drive too far to the edge of the river, or the sorry, of the water. So I want us to look at it as the same thing for our children. If we don't set guidelines and boundaries, especially when they are really that young, to start training them from that young age that I said, if we don't set it there, that means we are not protecting them. Because if the government didn't put that thing there for us, so many people would have driven into the water before knowing it. Because even because it's not there enough, it's enough to fear us. It's enough to scare us from even using that bridge. If they decide to remove it in some bridges around here, around maybe just UK or wherever, you will see that you will afford taking that bridge. That bridge, particularly, you won't want to go on it because you will be scared to go on it. So it's the same thing for our children. We need to set guidelines for them. And this is what we call self-control. This is part that is leading them to self-control. The guidelines will be according to the word of God. It's not that you making your homework, because if you just make your own up, when it's time to correct them, it will be difficult to correct them if you can't take them back to the word of God. Remember, you have been training them with the word of God since, and they are familiar and they are used to it. So if you don't use the word of God to set it, you will not be able to control it. But you cannot use the word of God to set it if you don't know it yourself. So that is why, as usual, as I always say, that our spiritual development must be continuously, so that we know what is expected of us as well, so that our life as well can also model this thing to our children.